The worst betrayal that backfired horribly, Story 2.
My sister announced that she's pregnant and my husband was the father. I planted a seed of doubt in his mind that turned out to be true. Jake and I had been trying for a baby for years. We had been married for 6 years, and I knew he was getting frustrated, as was I. We were still in our early 30s and we were both healthy, but a kid just wasn't in the cards for us. I tried everything. Ate right, exercised daily, got regular checkups, and even honored whatever saints or gods that bestowed fertility. Jake wasn't the most patient man. If I was upset when I got my period, he was 10 times more. There were times when I was just tired of hoping and just wanted his comfort. But we were both grieving of something that we didn't have, so it was just me processing my emotions. I presented other alternatives to him. I just wanted a child, I didn't care how we got one. He rejected my plans. I asked if we could do IVF, too expensive, or adopt, he wanted his own flesh and blood. So we just had to try again, the natural way because any other way was abhorrent to him. Now I have a sister, Liz. I have to mention that she's younger because that's relevant to this story. I was 33, she was 25. Our 8-year age gap didn't allow us to grow up close, but I thought that at least we had a loving relationship. But she was really close with my husband. It was cute at first because she was just 16 when I introduced Jake to my family. She always wanted to sit by his side and talk with him whenever we visited our home. I thought it was a harmless crush on her part because an older guy paid her attention, not like the guys at her school. She would get over it, I thought. She would meet other boys her age and fall in love with them. With my fertility issue always hovering around me, my sister was the farthest in my mind. She was doing well for herself. She skipped college but she went to beauty school and was doing well at a good salon. She loved her job, it seemed, and I was happy that she was feeling fulfilled. My parents also spoke so proudly of her whenever I got to talk with them. In other words, she was the least of my worries. Jake, on the other hand, was becoming unbearable to live with. At that time I thought it was my fault that he was always irritated because I couldn't give him a child. It was his God-given right as a man to be a father, he said, and I believed him. I started to doubt my own womanhood. It couldn't be it, right? I knew I wasn't defective, but doubts started lingering on my mind. Maybe it was my karma for my past actions? I got a call from my mother one day, inviting me and Jake for dinner. It was a weekday, so it was strange, but she said they had an important announcement. I thought Jake would say no because we had to work the next day, and visits to my childhood home often ended late. But to my surprise, he said he was looking forward to it. I could tell the atmosphere was tense when we got to my parents' home. They were nervous about something but was trying to hide it. Liz was upbeat, though. I had never seen her so excited about something. It was obvious that the announcement was about her. It looked like a very happy news. My parents' nervousness didn't add up, though. My father started saying something like he loved both his daughters and wanted us all to be a family. Weird, but okay. My mother was unnaturally quiet. Then my sister excitedly announced that she's pregnant. I immediately congratulated her and wanted to stand up to hug her. Jake touched my shoulder and told me to sit down. That's odd. Normally, Jake would be the first to give her a hug, and Liz would eat it up. What's going on? Why is everybody being so weird? Liz was the only one acting normally. Maybe Jake was envious that my sister would be a parent before us? Liz continued as if nothing was wrong, looking me in the eyes and telling me in a rather placating tone that Jake was the father. Come again? I didn't think I said that out loud, but she did tell me in a nauseatingly sweet tone that Jake, my husband who was sitting between us, was the father of her child. Then she started saying something like I couldn't make him happy because I couldn't get pregnant but she could, so it would be nice if we got divorced immediately. My father took my hand and said that they all knew and wanted peace in the family. My mother also asked me to be the bigger person and give way because they had all accepted it and were happy and excited about it. Jake took my hand but my sister snatched it and held it for herself. He told me something like he wanted to tell me but I was so caught up with my fertility issue that there was no right time to tell me. Damn right there was no right time. He was still speaking but I wasn't listening anymore. My head was spinning. Everyone around me was telling me to be happy for my sister and my husband, as if they didn't betray me. Jake made it seem like it was my fertility issue alone, like it wasn't him who demanded every month that I get pregnant, like it was me and just me alone who was affected by it. How long had this been going on behind my back? Had my parents known all along that Liz and Jake had been fucking? I wasn't listening anymore and they kept talking. I wanted to stand and leave or maybe shout at them first or just cry. Whatever, I just want to do something but I couldn't. I couldn't react. My whole body felt heavy and I couldn't even raise my hand, let alone stand up. And then I remembered something. Suddenly, I felt giddy and excited that a smile almost broke out. I ignored my sister and looked at Jake when I told him about my trip to the fertility clinic that afternoon. I told him that I had a test done a few days ago and got the result. I told him the test told me I was healthy and everything was normal. I got the test because I was afraid that I got sterile after my abortion in college. I then looked at my sister and told her the problem wasn't with me, it was with Jake. I told my parents about my abortion, so it wasn't that I couldn't get pregnant, Jake just had dead sperm. My sister shrilled, calling me a liar. But I was looking at Jake's reaction, letting what I said sink in. Oh my lord, it would have been a funny thing to witness the realization turn into anger on his face, but all I could do was smirk. I hope it was a good smirk because my face couldn't help show it. He turned to Liz, accusing her of cheating on him. Liz cried and denied it. My parents started questioning her too. I should have stayed and watched the drama, but after my initial burst of victory, I was now feeling the anger and misery that I should have felt as an initial reaction. I walked out the door and got into my car. Jake and I got there together, but I wasn't going to wait for him. Jake returned home a couple of hours later after me. He begged me for forgiveness, which I appreciated because he really owed me one. Unfortunately for him, I just wanted him to beg but had no intention of forgiving him. My sister quickly folded after Jake and my parents shouted at her. I found out from him, unprompted, that Liz was pressured to admit that he wasn't the father but a regular client she had at the salon. But the client was also already married and wouldn't leave his wife. Jake claimed that Liz seduced her and he wasn't interested in her at first, but then she got pregnant and he was happy that he was finally going to be a father. I just wanted to find out what happened at the house after I left, so I got him talking. But how stupid did he think I was to forgive him and accept him back? I divorced him immediately. He got a test and told me what I already knew, that his swimmers were dead. He told me all that in hopes that I take him back. He said we could adopt because that's what I wanted in the first place. I asked him what about the legacy of having his own flesh and blood continue his family name. Ha ha ha, just kidding. I knew it would hurt if I said that, so I did. My parents tried to reach out to me but I rejected their calls. Liz left me a voice message cursing me for ruining her life. I guess even my parents didn't want to support her anymore. Funny that they accepted her when she ruined their other daughter's marriage, but not when the real father of her child was also already married to someone else. I have remarried to a great man. We have 3 kids together, 1 came from me and the 2 were blessings to us through adoption. I completely forgot my old family and started a new and better one.
If you liked the story, please give it a thumbs up. Share the video and subscribe for more. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. Thank you very much.